seller, do things around the house like they did in the good old days. Hundreds of pages illustrated. You're going to definitely want to get that book. Considering all the wonderful things that have happened over the last few years, you never know what's next. It seems like we're in the calm, of course, before something big happens. Might want to have that book. Get the printed version, $37 plus shipping. Link is in the description. And let's just get back to the video. So we have, of course, now everyone's starting to think, well, if there's something wrong with USAID, and there's something wrong with the IRS, and there's something wrong with the Department of Defense, perhaps everywhere there's something wrong. Perhaps everywhere. Maybe the gold at Fort Knox no longer exists. And of course, actually a lot of people are thinking this for a long period of time. You have Rand Paul here has announced that Elon is officially investigating our nation's gold stockpile at Fort Knox and other facilities, sending shockwaves already to these, I guess, vampires that run everything. I don't know. Let's go check out what he has to say here.
And I got permission. You have to get permission all the way up to the Secretary of Treasury. And then the Secretary of Treasury said, well, I want to go down there too. And then he said, I want to go down there when the eclipse is coming through Kentucky too, so I can see the eclipse and the gold at the same time. But they came when I wasn't there. So I tried for 10 years. I set up the appointment. And then because they wanted to see the eclipse, they changed the appointment. I didn't get to go down. But the Secretary of Treasury and the Senior Senator from Kentucky did go down and attest that they believe they saw the gold down there.
So what do you think the problem is?
All right. Well, maybe the issue is it's not all there, or maybe they. I don't know. I don't know. You know, they could claim it's security or whatever, but I kind of doubt that. It makes you wonder. There's something that doesn't seem right, because, of course, they don't give permission to even senators to go down there and look, and very few people get to look. It's kind of like the Vatican Library. No one can go there. You know what I mean? So it makes you really wonder. Perhaps maybe not all of it's there. Maybe it appears to be all there, but it's not all there. Well, I guess we'll find out. I've heard there was some sort of, I saw some post that there was a massive amount of gold being purchased by an unknown buyer from, I believe it was England, right, to America. And some are wondering if maybe they're trying to restock it up again. I don't know. Let me see. There was some big story about this. Okay. I don't know. I don't want to go figure it out. I remember hearing that somewhere, though. I don't know where that was, but anyway, let's get into some of these other things. So we have, of course, also on top of that, the fact that, well, obviously you may want to buy some gold because they're talking about maybe repricing it. So once they do audit this, they may reprice the gold for Fort Knox, and perhaps that would also affect gold prices. I don't know how much that would affect gold prices, but it is interesting. It might be wise to buy some. Link is in the description if you haven't already. Check this out. We have a clip of our president talking about some of the stuff that they've been discovering. Check this out.
People are respecting us again as a country and as a powerful country, and maybe a smart country, but maybe not so smart, because when you look at some of the waste, fraud, and abuse that's being uncovered by Doge, and the people at Doge, these are young, often young, but super brilliant people, incredible computer scientists and other things. And
actually, we have another clip too. So basically, he's talking about how much they've been uncovering. And actually, here's another one where he gets into more detail about them uncovering some of this. Let's watch this really quick.
90 to 99. Social Security, 6,054,000 people. Well, that's okay. Maybe that's possible. 90 to 99, maybe it's possible. It's a lot of people, though, at that. But people that live to 100 to 109, 4,734,000. Wow, that's a lot. That means over 100 years old. They have 4 million people. I don't know too many. I know people that are doing great in their 90s, but not too many people over 100. But over 120, from 120 years old, people that are 120 years old up to 129, 3,472,000 people. Wow. That can't possibly be, because the record is like, I think it's one person, a woman, lived to 127, but they have 3,472. Okay, but now we're going really in. People from 130 years old to 139 year old, 3,936,000.
This is ridiculous, too, considering the fact that this is very simplistic to fix. They know there's no one living at 140 to 149 years old. There's clearly not 3.5 million people that are 144 years old. I mean, seriously, give me a break. This is not rocket science. They could have easily fixed this at any time. Why didn't they ever fix this? Why is it there's so much waste, fraud, and some of this is just like ridiculous because like with a lot of the Social Security, it apparently is going to foreign countries. It is not rocket science. Something huge is going on here. I mean, it's not. I mean, it's so super obvious, and it's just it's beyond pathetic. You would think that they would at least try to, cover, of course, their tracks. You know what I mean? Like start, shredding papers and fixing things before he got in. Apparently, they didn't think anything was going to happen. This is how lazy they've gotten with their crimes. They're just like, oh, whatever, you're not going to get us. And they've been like living and basking in this corruption for so long that they just think they're completely immune to it or something. I don't know what they're thinking, but it's pretty hilarious to watch this. So, of course, you have Adam Schiff talking and tweeting here. Elon is trying to access your personal bank and tax data. The world's richest man should not and cannot be able to snoop around your personal finances, period, end of story. Chaotic good. He's not trying to snoop around my personal finances. He's trying to snoop around yours because you get paid with taxpayer money and should be subjected to these types of audits on a regular basis to flush out obvious conflicts of interest. Oh yeah, that's right. You might get a bunch of money and then vote a certain way for it. There was even a video that just came out recently from some sort of representative where he was like saying that they were literally doing this weekly. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's fake, but like getting bids on who, and they would go to a party when they would do this. They would go to a party and then they would figure out who they're supposed to help out this week. And then they would go vote on it. I don't know if it's true, but this dude was saying it. But honestly, at this point, with how much ridiculous stuff we've been seeing in these audits, I wouldn't really be surprised. I actually wouldn't be surprised at all. It's almost like they've gotten so used to being able to do whatever they want, they thought they were completely immune to anything. Now, of course, some on, the left, apparently not too happy with ICE, apparently setting one of their vans, of course, on fire. This is one of the latest stories from, I think, an hour or two ago. ICE van in Philadelphia street on Tuesday, despite widespread speculation and social media claims suggesting arson by activists. Authorities confirmed it resulted from mechanical issues. Okay. I mean, I guess it's theoretically possible it was just mechanical issues, but how often does your car just, well, I guess technically it did happen to one of my cars once. What happened was I let it set for like months, and then some animal got into it and made a nest, and I didn't know about it and chewed on the wires or something. So technically that could happen. Stuff like that can actually happen, but I don't think it's that. I think it'd be more likely that the other would happen, in my mind at least. So you have here this video showing, or I'm just showing it up close more, but yeah, actually you have the video right here. So at any rate, so you got that. And they're saying it's just mechanical issues. Of course, today also ICE, going into a Hyundai plant in Georgia, sparks debate. An auto worker at Hyundai electric car plant in Rome, Georgia, has reported that ICE conducted a raid. Claims on social media suggest that a significant number of undocumented, of course, workers were present and fled during the raid. And actually, I've heard about how they do it. I heard about a factory near where I live. I just heard stories. I don't know if this is true, but I've heard stories. And they get these fake, of course, driver's licenses, and sometimes it'll be like 5 people with the same name. Like they'll actually have just like duplicates of the same. There'll be like 5 people at the same factory with the same driver's license because, that's how they do it. So I don't know if it's true, but this is what I've heard, and maybe that would explain what's going on here. It's because you have to provide certain evidence that you are an American, and they just get these fake, of course, IDs and present those. And sometimes they'll have like 10 of the same one at the same factory, you know what I mean? So at Henry. So they have, of course, apparently took a number of them, a significant number. I wonder what they mean by significant. Incentivized to qualify for long-term disability. Oh, what's this? Let's check this out.
They wanted us to try to identify them in such a way that they would qualify for long-term Social Security disability. Now,
What?
Yeah, and long-term Social Security disability is for
So this is about the whole Social Security with the vampires at 300 taking Social Security. All right.
life.
Yeah.
So if they get identified and qualified for long-term Social Security disability, they are as good as set up for life for medical treatment.
That doesn't sound like a refuge.
Oh my goodness, I know this guy. I've seen it. Isn't this guy named Tolley or something? He used to be on YouTube like years ago. I think that's who that is. I haven't seen him in a million years. All right, so there's that. Then we have this new video, apparently a much better video of what happened. Tolley or something. Video, apparently a much better video of what happened in Toronto. All right, here, let's play this. You can see it coming in. All right, you can see that apparently some of the landing gear failed, and then it turned over like that, flipped over on its head. And that's crazy. I mean, there's so many of these that are recent, and I just covered that over my other channel, but that's a new video. I hadn't even seen that one. Now, we're seeing a lot more of these videos over in Europe, in Germany, and England, where their police are going and visiting citizens of their own country for posting memes. And really, very, very, I mean, honestly, milquetoast stuff. They're not even posting anything really that ridiculous. This is pretty ridiculous. And of course, you have CBS joining in. Let's go arrest some citizens for posting, of course, memes. All right, let's check this out.
It's 6:01 on a Tuesday morning, and we were with state police as they raided this apartment in northwest Germany.
I guess we're returning back to what it was like in the 90s, Eastern Germany here or something. I mean, they're going to go basically talk to the guy. Let's check this out.
Inside, 6 armed officers searched a suspect's home, then seized his laptop and cell phone. Prosecutors say those electronics may have been used to commit a crime. The crime, posting a racist cartoon online.
Okay, so again, the question is, what does that even mean? I guess we need to see what it is. Would they even let us know what it was? Because I've seen some other ones that were kind of interesting, where we had one man, it was in England, he just wrote that Christians need to, stand up, something like that, because of what's going on in our country, and they considered that of that type of ilk, right? Oh, what do you need? Or they actually visited him. They didn't even arrest that guy. They just visited him with a psychologist asking if he was okay. I'm like, really? Wow. So that's the kind of stuff going on currently in England. I've seen I saw this one video in England where they kicked down a door and it was like a grandma sitting in a chair watching TV. I'm not joking, man. I gotta go find that clip. It's just so ridiculous. And she's like sitting there. She like posted something on Facebook, and they're like arresting her for a grandma, dude. A grandma, literally watching TV, sitting in her sofa or whatever. No, lazy boy, whatever it was. It's just so ridiculous, kicking down the door to go do that. You know what I mean? I think you have bigger problems in your country than stuff like that. You know what I mean? Of course, maybe they need some freedom there. I don't know. Might be a good idea. Anyway, of course, we also have a lot of other things going on. We got Walmart. Shareholders send a letter of support reining in the DEI policies, saying that they support Walmart for rolling these back, these policies. Obviously, I mean, it's not customers, it's not average Americans that are backing all this stuff. U.S. retail sales fall as consumers cut spending. Of course, this is obvious because they make less money than they used to and things cost more, so they're going to buy less. It's not exactly hard to understand this. It's called simple math, but apparently they want to blame it on our current president when actually this is what happened from 4 years of what we've been seeing. Then we have, of course, Joe Rogan here, and he's been talking about a lot of the stuff with this waste and these audits in the GOV. Check this out.
Our president is very smart because he's showing us things that enables people like Mike Benz and you and I to have these conversations about, because it's not ideological that USAID, which is not USAID, this is like one of these psyops right up top, like Federal Express is not owned by the government, Federal Reserve is not owned by the government, USAID is the Agency for International Development, not aid, and we see on television,
but they always talk about it like it's aid, which is really interesting. And they even put out these stories like, look, they just disenfranchised this group over here, and it's like, something that seems like they're really helping the poor or something in some other country, when it's not really about that at all, right? They might have like 1% of it going to that stuff, right? 99% going to all their other stuff that they're doing. We have, of course, you remember the whole story about FEMA sending millions of dollars to luxury hotels, of course, in New York City. Apparently, New York City migrants are also looting luxury homes and then reselling their items.
So the owners of this store right here are in FBI custody for allegedly working with a South American robbery crew to sell stolen items, some of which were taken from the homes of professional athletes and other wealthy individuals all across America by a gang of Chilean immigrants residing in the U.S. illegally.
Gee, I wonder how they got here. I can't figure that out. It's just so hard to understand. At any rate, that's my video. Kind of wonder what some of you guys think. We also have The View also complaining about all this stuff. Again, trying to tie some of these planes, like what happened in Toronto and how it landed and failed. When it landed, they're trying to tie it to them firing people and limiting the amount of people working in that area. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous because clearly this is mechanical failures, and some of this also is probably people that are not well trained, maybe flying some of these planes. I don't know. That's my video. I kind of want some of you guys to think. Let me know in the comment section below, and thanks for watching.
King Shogun Productions.
Ha ha ha!